to the Learning Lyrics Podcast.
Welcome to the Learning Lyrics Podcast. I am the Flamingo Man, and I am with Lady Rose. And this is where we kind of explore the lyrics of songs. So, Lady Rose, let's get right into it. What happened last week?
Last week, we watched a couple of sporting events, you could say. The first one we watched was UFC.
Correct.
Well, you talk about that.
So the UFC was UFC Noche, and it featured a lot of Latino fighters from the United States and from Mexico and across the globe. It was a wonderful night with the main event being Diego Lopez, who came out to La Chona and whooped some butt.
Oh, great song. I was actually not totally paying attention at that time when he came up with his song, and I stopped what I was doing. It was so attention grabbing. I loved it.
And the great haircut, had a mullet.
Yeah, we couldn't see it right away. He had his cowboy hat on.
What was the other sporting event?
And then we watched the Lions, and they blew them out. So that was sweet to watch. And Hutch is back, so it was awesome to see him.
And they beat their former coach, their former either offensive line or defensive line coach.
Yeah.
He's now running the Bears, which were one of those two top coaches, and he got smashed.
So everybody's happy about that, in Michigan at least.
He's a traitor, bro.
Let's get into the songs for the week. And the two that we picked have relation to things that happened the last week, the two events. So one being the VMAs, we're a little late on that, but one being the VMAs. So the first song is called Loser by Jellyroll and Post Malone.
Correct.
So we'll get going on that one first.
Last callers, last chancers, 9-to-5ers, truckers, dancers, couple Chucks, Earns, and Chandlers, with a whole lot of prayers unanswered, whiskey by noon and beer before that, southbound train on a hellbound track. Might just put two middle fingers up and throw one back for all the people who ain't never felt at home, just spinning on a rock and getting stoned. Yeah, this one's for the losers, the outcasts and the sinners. Ain't never been no winners. Let's hear it for the losers. Ain't got nowhere to fit in. There's a place you can always get in. Oh, you might be lonely, but you're never alone. You're right here where you're supposed to be. Right here with all the losers, the ones like you and the ones that like me. Go for it.
My therapist is a good bartender. Heartbreakers and 2-month benders. Bad times that we can't forget. Good times that we won't remember. Raise them up when we hear a sad song. Love the cry of the steel guitar. No way to change the way we are. This one's for the losers, the outcasts and the sinners. The ain't never been no winners. Let's hear it for the losers. Ain't got nowhere to fit in. There's a place you can always get in. Oh, you might be lonely, but you're never alone. You're right here where you're supposed to be. Right here with all the losers, the ones like you and the ones like me.
If you're living like you got none to lose, there's a spot for you besides me on this stool. Come kick it with the losers. Oh, the outcasts and the sinners. There ain't never been no winners. Let's hear it for the losers. Ain't got nowhere to fit in. It's a place you can always get in. Oh, you might be lonely, but you're never alone. You're right here where you're supposed to be. Right here with all the losers, the ones like you and the ones like me. Oh,
yeah, and that's it. So, what do you think about that?
I think it's magnificent. I felt that way many times. Not as much now, but I used to.
So the line where it said, you're right here where you're supposed to be, right here with all the losers. Yep. I mean, it's just so basically they're saying you may feel like an outcast, but in doing so, there's other people that feel the same way. So in doing so, you're not really an outcast. So you do belong somewhere.
With the outcasts.
Yeah.
So let me just say one quick thing about that. In the last 5 to 10 years, the isolation of males has been on the increase. So I'm sure a lot of males out there can identify that because they kind of do feel like they're losing out. They're isolated, limited friend circles, limited ladies. So I think a lot of people like that are probably getting into this. And I've kind of been there, not quite like that. I kind of can understand that a little bit.
Do you think it's chosen, or do you think they were kind of quote unquote put in that position by other people?
Well, I feel everything's chosen, but maybe they were part of groups they never felt included. Maybe, or maybe the group didn't do enough to make them feel included, or maybe they just didn't vibe with the group. Therefore, probably felt like outcast. I mean, I've felt that, actually. I'll be honest, I feel like I don't belong in a lot of groups, to be honest with you. To be clear, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a solitary lone wolf guy if that's your, or woman either, if that's your vibe, right?
I think people find their place. Timing's everything, and I think people find their place. Like the song says, you're right where you need to be. Or
Well, let me tell you this, at the Flamingo Man and Lady Rose Learn Lyrics podcast, you have a place here with us. So if you got nowhere else to go, come with us because you'll be with us. Let's go to this community.
For sure.
Let's go next.
So our second song is Seven Nation Army by White Stripes. And the reason we picked this is because sports season is kicking off, and this is actually a very common song that's played to hype up the crowds, and more specifically at football games. So I thought that'd be kind of cool to do that. So let's go through these lyrics. Seven Nation Army by White Stripes. I will start. I'm gonna fight them off. A seven nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget, back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. And the message coming from my eyes says, leave it alone. Don't want to hear about it. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everyone knows about it. From the Queen of England to the hounds of hell, and if I catch them coming back my way, I'm going to serve it to you. And that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what I'll do.
And the feeling comes from a bone, says find a home. I'm going to Wichita, far from the opera forevermore. I'm going to work the straw, make the sweat drip out of every pore. And I'm bleeding, and I'm bleeding, and I'm bleeding right before the Lord. All the words are going to bleed for me, and I will think no more. And the stains coming from my blood tell me, go back home.
Okay, and that's it. And so why do you suppose this is, I have my guess, but why do you suppose that this is something that is played to hype up crowds at games?
It's the beat.
It's absolutely the beat. And actually, I don't know all the songs, but there are several songs, some I'm like, why is that in the crowd? Why are they playing this? I think they're picking good beat songs.
It comes down to tempo and beats. And to be honest, they don't know what they're saying. Now, this podcast has taught you anything. We break down the lyrics of some of these songs. The beat have been fire, and not saying the lyrics aren't, but the lyrics kind of deep.
They are. That's what I was just going to say. It's the only reason it fits in that scene is because of the beat.
Yeah, and then when you dive deep, like, wow, this is lyrics.
Great lyrics. I would like to know the why.
Well, the White Stripes do live in the Detroit area. From Detroit area, they might be accessible, actually. So anything these episodes have taught me, as a songwriter, I got to change my style up because short and repetitive is the way to go, in my opinion.
And so this week we're going to do something a little new, or we might have done before, but we're going to do it again.
So party people, we now have a store for the Flamingo Man and Lady Rose, the Learn Lyrics podcast. It would have put some exclusive merch that's related to this episode and going forward, related to every episode. It'll be some merchandise that kind of linked to, kind of inspired by, or maybe a quote or something with the show, and it'll be exclusively at the store. Put the link below, check it out. If you want to wear some of the swag, have some cool stuff that nobody else got, guarantee you not a lot of people can have it. That's going to make it so cool. When I was young in school, I used to stuff that nobody had, right? I guarantee not a lot of people can have this. Well, they might. Well, the Failures podcast will, but a few people, only our people. So yeah, go put the link below, check it out. Anything else you want to say later, Rose?
I just want to say thanks for listening and learning.
So.
The Learning Lyrics podcast.